Hey, I just want to do a video overview of like all my, friggin' LARP kit. Um, if anybody says, "Oh, why do you have all this stuff?" Because I think it's cool and I want to, basically. Um, so I'm gonna go over what it is and then basically why I have it. So first of all, with a plate carrier, Crye AVS. So I got this because you can wear it for a very long time and it's adaptable. So if I want to have it a slick setup, I can also do that. So I have the ferro turnover mag inserts, elastic mag inserts, up front of the M4 Kinkaroo pouch, and then up front I have Blue Force Gear Triple, and in them I have Gen 2 windowed PMags. The reason I went for the Gen 2 is because they drop free, whereas the Gen 3s sometimes are a little, sometimes they drop free, sometimes they don't because of the over travel bit on the magazine itself. Um, Anyways, and I like the Blue Force gear. Number one because they're very lightweight pouches, and also because they go flat as you use them, which is nice. Um, so all my pouches are Blue Force gear except for the Hydro pouch, which is I actually forget who makes it. I'll remember eventually. Um, Hopefully. And so I carried 6 mags, plus one on the belt, and then plus one on the gun. So 8 mags overall. I think that's a perfectly adequate magazine count for my needs. So I have also in the space between the AVS itself and the kangaroo pouch, I have medical shears. Even outside of like medical shears, these are kind of awesome scissors, surprisingly. So on the left-hand cummerbund, I have an M18 smoke grenade pouch where I have just a fake M18 right now. Normally, I would have a EG18 smoke grenade or something like that. I have a Blue Force Gear IFAK pouch with the tourniquet holders. I'm not really a big fan of these that much. I might be taking them off. We'll see. It's just kind of a pain in the ass to actually get the TQ out. And then on my left-hand side, I have a Blue Force Gear GP pouch. And what I like about the Blue Force Gear GP pouch is we don't have a ton of shit in it. It kind of remains to the side, so it makes it a lot easier to draw a handgun. So on the back, I have a... it's going to bug me. I don't know. I forget who makes it. It's a 1.5 liter hydro pouch. And I have inside, I have a Camelback 1.5 liter. I think they're the only people who make like tactical TM, like hydro pouches. I know, friggin' the other big one, I make all the green ones. Can't believe I'm forgetting this. All right, whatever. It doesn't matter. That's another company made once in prototypes, but I didn't get them unfortunately. So that's why I have the AVS. Is it a really good plate carrier? Yes. Is it worth the money? Maybe. Is it God's, like second coming? No. So something to be aware of when you buy an AVS. Honestly, I would probably I wouldn't buy this again. I don't regret buying it. But it's just barely enough that I don't. I have the Hoplite level 4 plates in here. It's the NIJ 10 rated ones, I believe. Anyways, so they're sappy cut. So anyways, for gloves, I have the Pig. I think these are the Alpha gloves. They're super nice gloves. I think these are kind of like, except for durability, which is really their big shortcoming, these are kind of like objectively the best shooting gloves on the market right now. So for watch, I have a Garmin Tactics Charlie. It's really awesome watch, GPS, smart watch, all rolled up in one. It's really thick, dummy thick even. Just the only thing is, it's expensive. I got it for a lot cheaper than MSRP, but I think it's like a $750 watch. normally, and then the Delta, which is the most recent iteration, is like $1,100. And honestly, I wasn't sure if I was gonna like having a smartwatch, which I love it actually, so I didn't want to get the Delta just yet. Um, so I'm honestly, it's a good enough watch. I'm not like super crazy on replacing it. So when I get the money, I'll probably get it eventually, but whatever. So my belt system is a Ronin Tactics Task Force. So there's a lot of confusion on this and the Senshi. This is the Senshi just in normal colors, while the Senshi itself is, I believe it's black with multicam trim. But it's the identical belt construction wise. And these are awesome belts, honestly. I think kind of the rest of Ronin's offerings, just in general, are kind of overrated or mediocre, but the belts are absolutely like the shit. For a long time, these were like the best shooting belts you could buy. I think there's some other companies now that make kind of, I would say competitors. I wouldn't say that they're maybe as good because I haven't tried them myself. And to be honest with you, there's kind of sparse information on them. But the task force is where it's at. So I have a STAT Kiwi triple mag pouch where I keep my 226 mags and another P mag. I have a dump pouch. Honestly, dump pouches aren't really useful for like real shit, if like a real situation, I should say. But in terms of like not losing your mags, they're really useful. So I have a Safariland 7TS ALS set up on a flex leg holster. Honestly, these are a lot more comfortable than a friggin' modded UBL. The thing with modded UBL is I think it's more of, it is certainly smaller, which could be a factor for you. But it's also not as comfortable or stable. So that's something to think about. It's also cheaper, which is I think a reason why a lot of people go for it. So then in it I have a German P226R. This gun is awesome. Like honestly, I was kind of skeptical over the quality difference between the like the German and the American P226s. And not that the American P226s are bad; they're excellent handguns, but the German ones are just a bit nicer. So on it, I have the E2 grips, which I think are super comfortable. Also, the reason I went for the 226 is I just happened to find it the most comfortable handgun. I think the thing is with handguns is that it's a much more subjective choice. There's definitely like 4 or 5 like top good handguns that you should absolutely like trust with your life, and the 226 is one of them. So is Glock, CZ, Beretta, etc. But it's handguns are much more personal in terms of like fit and how they ergonomically fit your hand, versus like the AR-15, which I think is just generally the superior rifle. So I would like to try using a Glock, not right now because we're still in a pandemic and the gun scene is nuts. So yeah, I have I don't remember which trigger this is. I think it might be ALG. Anyway, it's a nice trigger. Custom trigger, Surefire X300U. And I currently have 15 round mags for it, the stock ones. But I will be getting 20 rounds eventually, 20 round making your mags. And another thing is that for work in progress stuff, I'm just gonna go over that real quick. I want to get a secondary IFAK. I just don't really know which one to get because there's a lot of good options. I'm kind of leaning towards either the Coyote Stomp or the Blue Force gear. So that's something I want to take a look at. And then also comm setup for the AVS. I just need to figure out how I want to set that up. I'm probably going to do 2 Baofangs, or maybe 2 Motorola's, we'll see. In the Crye Airlight, holders over here, and do a dual comm setup because I have dual comm contacts. Anyways, so that's the first line out of the way. So helmet, Ops Core Maritime. This thing, I'll be honest with you, this thing was so light when I got it. I honest to God thought it was a fake. It's at least as light as my ABS one I had when I did airsoft, and I still do airsoft. I shouldn't say that, but when I played NATO airsoft, I did get it used, but I got it for a really good deal. Especially for pandemic pricing. So I have an L4 G24 by Wilcox on it. I'll be honest with you, these two are like. This is like total. This is kind of the only thing I have for aesthetics on my kit. I think the standard shroud looks kind of stupid. So honestly, I got a Wilcox for it because I thought it looked better. And certainly it'll be useful when I get nods eventually. But currently, you need to get fucking another 8.6 or fix my old one. We'll see. So then I have a Mohawk, TNVC Mohawk, with a SNS Manta strobe, I believe. And on the back, I have an ISAF flag, not the military ISAF. If you know where this is from, you're an absolute Chad. I have the standard suspension and harness and pads and stuff. I might be upgrading to Team Wendy pads because they're definitely more comfortable. I don't know about the Octile because the things with the Team Wendy Octile is that it's, or the Lux, any of the Lux, any of the Lux Octiles, that they're definitely more comfortable, but they're not as secure. Like a standard Ops Core one, you can just wear the helmet without the chin strap, like no problem. Whereas with the other designs, you still need to wear the chin strap for it to be stable. And then for the head setup, I have friggin' Comtac 3s. I think it would be cool to upgrade to the 6s, but maybe not right now because they're really expensive still. And 3s are still really good. So, for my rifle, I have a Knights Armament Company SR-15. I'm going to flat out say that I think this is the best combat rifle money can buy right now. I'm definitely more on direct impingement gang. I think a lot of the piston guns on the market right now are just kind of either mediocre or just unnecessary. I think DI is especially this DI, because this is a lot of reliability improvements on it. I'm not going to go into the whole weapon system now. If you're more curious about it, there's a lot of YouTube videos and articles about what makes the SR-15 such a fantastic, rifle. But anyways, it's a 14.5 pin and welded rifle. So I'm gonna flip it over and we'll go front to back. And for the sling, I have a Blue Force Gear Vickers sling. It's a good sling, but I think I want to upgrade to a Slingster, soonish. So I have a M600 Surefire M600 DF with a just regular Surefire, pressure pad. A lot of my friends are going to Mod Light, but I still have yet to be super impressed by them. Especially just the upgrade over the Surefire. I think they're certainly excellent lights. I just don't think they offer particularly anything vastly superior to the Surefire. And then I have a RBG foregrip. I do prefer the thumb overboard with foregrip. That's just what I find most comfortable. And then for the optic, I have a EOTech Voodoo 1-8, which is much better than the 1-6. The 1-6 kind of sucks. Well, I should say it sucks. It's just mediocre. On a LaRue SPR 1.93 mount. The 1.93 mount is like a game changer, especially if you're wearing a helmet. K2 Plus grip, super comfortable grip. I love it. And then I have a Geisley supercharging handle. The thing about this is that Geisley QC sucks now. I wouldn't buy anything from Geisley anymore. Me and my friend we each bought 3 SEHs over the course of a year. And they all had very different QC levels. The first one I got was fucking amazing machining. The second one, which is this one, I got was kind of average. It was certainly serviceable, but it wasn't blow your nuts off. Well, my friend got one. It was actually out of spec that it marred his upper receiver. So yeah, that was fun. And then on the stock, I have a Magpul STR. I think it's the most comfortable stock for me. I like having the cheek, the extra cheek space. Although, because of the SPR 1.93 mount, I would consider using a CTR with a riser. So just something to think about. So, yeah, that's all my shit. Hope you guys liked it. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. I'd love to answer them, as long as you're not stupid. Like, oh, why do you have all this stuff? Anyways, yeah. Have a nice day, guys.